4 pairs of mice were placed in a box, clean water that never ran out, unlimited food, a climate set to permanent perfection, and 0 predators. A human scientist gave them paradise, and that paradise destroyed them. In 1968, an ethologist named John B. Calhoun built a 9-foot square metal enclosure. He called it Universe 25. It had 256 private nesting boxes. It had feeding hoppers capable of supporting nearly 4,000 mice at once. There were no diseases to fight, no freezing winters to survive, no hunger, no cats, and no poison. Every physical need a living creature could ever have was solved. It was, by every mathematical measure, heaven on earth. For the first 100 days, paradise worked. The 4 pairs of mice explored their new universe. They found the food, they built warm nests, and they began to breed. Every 55 days, the population doubled, from 8 mice to 16 to 64 to hundreds. The young grew up healthy and strong. There was no struggle to survive. Generations were born knowing only abundance. The enclosure hummed with life. Calhoun called this Phase B, the period of rapid growth. Life was effortless, and when life is effortless, a population grows without friction. The enclosure had plenty of space. It was designed to hold nearly 4,000 mice comfortably. Yet on day 315, at just 600 mice, the growth began to slow. Not because they ran out of food, not because they ran out of water. Something in their minds simply broke. Calhoun called it the behavioral sink. In nature, when animals feel crowded, the young leave to start colonies of their own. In Universe 25, there was nowhere to go. The social structure began to rot from the inside. Older, dominant males lost the will to defend their territories. Weaker males retreated into the crowded center floor. They sat huddled together, completely motionless, covered in bite marks. They attacked each other at random, for no reason at all. Mothers grew hyper-aggressive. They attacked their own nestmates. Then they abandoned their young. Infant mortality skyrocketed to 96%. Pups were left to wander through the alleys, starving in a world where food was everywhere. As the older generation fractured, a new kind of mouse emerged. They had grown up in total chaos. They had never been nurtured. They had never learned how to court a mate, how to fight, or how to care for offspring. So they withdrew entirely. They retreated to the highest, quietest nesting boxes near the ceiling. They spent their entire lives doing only 3 things: eating, drinking, and grooming their fur. They never fought. They never mated. They had no scars, no wounds, and no trauma. Their coats were pristine, shiny, and smooth. Calhoun named them the beautiful ones. They were physically perfect specimens, and completely, utterly hollow inside. They had lost the fundamental instinct of what it meant to be alive. On day 560, the population of Universe 25 peaked at 2,200 mice, more than 1,000 short of its physical capacity. And then the birth rate dropped to 0. Not a single surviving pup was ever born again. Even when Calhoun took pairs of the beautiful ones out of the crowded box and placed them in fresh, empty enclosures with unlimited food, they never reproduced. They had forgotten how. Calhoun realized that every complex species experiences 2 deaths. The first death is the death of the spirit, the death of purpose, the death of social bonds, the loss of struggle, maternal care, and play. The second death is the physical death of the biological body. Once the first death takes place, the second death is only a matter of time. Extinction becomes mathematically inevitable. By day 920, the last pregnant female died. Day by day, the box grew quieter. The aging, sterile mice walked slowly past towering heaps of uneaten food, until finally, in a paradise of infinite warmth and endless nourishment, the last mouse took its final breath. Universe 25 was dead. John B. Calhoun did not build this box to study rodents. He built it to look at us. He wanted to know what happens when a species removes every obstacle, every challenge, and every reason to cooperate. Because when comfort becomes absolute and community is replaced by isolation, survival loses its meaning. And long before the last body stops breathing, the world ends in silence.